Good evening, and welcome to Season 4 of Shh Productions Vintage Radio Hour, sponsored in part by our friends at Dutch Creek Winery. Our collaboration, now grown to over 150 fantastic performers and technicians from across the country, Canada, and the UK, revisits the legacy of audio entertainment that harkens back to the golden days of radio to bring you a Valentine's-themed collection of 6 shows filled with laughs, suspense, fear, and maybe a little romance. The upcoming show, Blondie Gets a Valentine, originally airing in 1944, features Richard Dana, Krista Lively Stauffer, David Tull, Tom Holliday, Nicole Miller, and Janetta Davis in a wacky story about Valentine's Day one-upmanship and all of the ensuing kisses, chaos, and confrontations. Stay tuned after the show to hear about next week's doubleheader. Now, grab that box of chocolates, cuddle up with your Valentine, and shh.
And now for our weekly visit with our neighbors, the Bumsteads of Shady Lane Avenue. Well, today is Valentine's Day, but let's turn back the clock to last night and see what was happening in the Bumstead home. Blondie was sitting in the living room with a puzzled eye on Dagwood, who was scribbling busily on a paper pad.
Dagwood?
Huh?
What are you doing? Designing the dream home of tomorrow?
No, I'm designing a comic Valentine for tomorrow. I'm going to put it on Mr. Dither's desk.
Can't you think of a better way to waste your time?
Yes, but all the best ways to waste time are expensive. Say, Blondie, you used to write poems, didn't you?
Yes, but that was before I met you, dear.
Well, in this Valentine for Mr. Dithers, I need words to rhyme with dopey, drip, and jerk.
You left out the word hooligan.
I've got that. You empty-headed hooligan, you ought to go to school again.
Oh, my. There's nothing like Valentine's Day to spread a lot of that warm, friendly feeling around. You know, you used to write poems for me.
Oh, well, I'm older and wiser now.
Well, anyway, you're older. In one of your poems, you promised to build an ivory palace for me and lay the treasures of the world at my feet. Whatever happened to those promises?
I was trying to get you to marry me then. Those were just campaign promises. For me, that year was an election year. Blondie, look at the picture I've got to go with Mr. Dither's Valentine.
What is that, anyway?
It's a picture of a monkey eating a banana with one hand, cracking walnuts on his head with the other, and playing the piano with his feet. Wait till Mr. Dithers gets this Valentine tomorrow morning. He'll really blow his top.
I suppose so, but for me it'll just be another day. Oh, come on, Dagwood. It's time to go to bed or I'll never be able to get you up in the morning.
Who was that at the door, honey?
Just Mr. Beasley, the postman. Well, let's see what's here. Go on with your breakfast, dear. You slept very late and you haven't much time.
Oh, by the way, honey, happy Valentine's Day.
Why, Dagwood, a big box of candy. Oh, thank you, darling.
Oh, it's really nothing. It's just a small substitute for the treasures of the world I didn't lay at your feet.
Would you like some candy?
No, thanks. I've already had some. You'll find a couple missing from the bottom layer.
And here's a Valentine from you that came in the mail. Why, it's got enough lace on it to make me a pair of... to make me a blouse. Oh, and here's something for you. It looks like a Valentine.
It looks like your handwriting. Aw, thanks, honey.
Oh, it isn't anything, Dagwood. Here's another Valentine for you, and it isn't in my handwriting.
It's probably from Mr. Dithers. You look at it.
It's not a comic Valentine, and it says, "I love you madly, my wonderful man." Then there are 4 exclamation marks, and it's signed Marquita.
Holy smoke!
Dagwood?
Now, Blondie,
Who is Marquita? And what does she mean by these 4 exclamation marks?
Blondie, that's some of Mr. Dithers' work. He's trying to frame me. This is his idea of a comic Valentine.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, have some candy, honey. Take several pieces. Go ahead.
Well, maybe you're right. I still don't like the look of those exclamation points. What kind of a Valentine did you fix up for Mr. Dithers?
It's a masterpiece. I'm going to put it on his desk before he gets to the office. Here, read it.
Well, the title seems to be Ladies' Man. You're stuck up and conceited. You think your gaze makes women swoon. I think your face looks uncompleted. You're just a goon, you big baboon. Signed, Guess Whom?
It's got a lot of nya, hasn't it?
Yeah! Oh, Dagwood, look at the time! If you're going to beat Mr. Dithers to the office, you've got to run.
Holy smoke!
Here's your hat and coat right here.
Get the door open for me, Blondie.
All right, dear, hurry now. Oh, come here, Daisy. You've got to get out of the way when Dagwood goes out the door or you'll get scorched. Oh, all right. I'll pick you up and hold you in my arms. Come on, dear, the door's open.
Okay, Blondie. Boy, Mr. Dithers will never guess who put this Valentine on his desk.
Dagwood, you've got to hurry. Kiss me goodbye.
Yeah, gee, Blondie, what a wet kiss.
Oh, Dagwood Bumstead. That wasn't me. That was Daisy.
Oh, Daisy, I didn't know you cared. What a smooch from a pooch.
Dagwood, you've got to dash. Kiss me this time. Daisy, stop horning in. Oh, goodbye, Dagwood.
Bumstead, come into my office.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
Bumstead, what do you know about this comic Valentine?
What comic Valentine is that?
This one right here. Look at the picture with my name under it.
Gee, Mr. Dithers, I don't think that picture really does you justice.
That's not me. That's a baboon.
No, excuse me. It's a natural mistake.
Bumstead?
No, I didn't mean that you look like the baboon. It's that the baboon looks a lot like you.
Never mind the compliments. Then you know nothing about this monstrosity?
I know nothing.
You can say that again. Now, go back to your office. Surprise me. Work a little.
Just a minute. Mr. Dithers, did you send me a Valentine that was signed Marquita?
A Valentine? Signed Marquita? Well, why should I do a thing like that?
To get me into trouble with Blondie?
Dagwood, old boy, it hurts me to think that you'd believe I'd do such a low, mean trick as that. Old boy. Did it get you in any trouble with Blondie?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's too bad. What a shame.
Are you sure you didn't send it, Mr. Dithers?
Oh, I'm just as sure I didn't send it as you are that you didn't send this comic Valentine to me.
That's what I thought.
Oh, Dagwood, since this is Valentine's Day, why don't we take our wives out to lunch? Call Blondie up and tell her we'll meet her and Cora at the Palm Room of the Palace Hotel.
Okay, JC. I'll call her from my office.
I thought he sent me this poison pen Valentine. Well, I'll fix him somehow. Oh, hey, come in.
Hello, Mr. Dithers.
Well, Ken Niles, what's on your mind?
I just came to deliver a couple of Valentines for you. This is one from the Goliath Construction Company.
Let me see.
Here.
To the Dithers Construction Company, to its boss with head so fat, we hope you'll be our Valentine and your houses all fall flat. Oh, I'll tell you. What's the other Valentine?
I can't tell you who it's from, but as you go out, you might smile at your itty-bitty wet-headed secretary.
It's from Dimples?
What's going on around here?
Well, I think Bumstead sent me this horrible comic Valentine. But I'm going to get even. I'm going to hire a dark, gorgeous-looking creature to come up to our table when Blondie and Cora and Dagwood and I are having lunch today.
Oh, now, Mr. Dithers, you really shouldn't do that. What will Blondie think?
The worst, I hope. Yes, sir. It'll be the first time I ever heard of anyone getting a real live Valentine.
And you want me to pretend that I'm a friend of his called Marquita and then kiss him?
Yes, that's right. I wish someone would play tricks like this on me. Oh, you luscious lump.
How do you want me to kiss him?
Well, I want him to feel that he just poked his nose into an electric light socket, about 220 volts.
220 volts. AC or DC?
Well, whatever you think will make his ears light up. Perhaps we'd better have a rehearsal. Would you mind?
I'd love it.
Well, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, Dagwood, my darling, how wonderful to see you here.
Fine. Now, let's try out the smackola. You may kiss me now.
All right, Mr. Dithers, try this on for size.
Whoa, Yahoo!
Shall we try that again?
After 5 o'clock. I have high blood pressure, and I'm afraid I'd blow out a fuse. Just save all your voltage for Dagwood Bumstead.
This evening's broadcast of Shh Productions Vintage Radio Hour is brought to you in part by Dutch Creek Winery, located in the beautiful verdant countryside of Athens, Ohio. Visit their new tasting room located in the hills of southeastern Ohio and stop in to enjoy their amazing artisanal small batch meads, ciders, and fruit wines, the best Athens has to offer. Spend a relaxing afternoon in their tasting room or newly enclosed patio, a warm place to relax and enjoy your wine selection, expertly paired with a house-made snack or charcuterie tray. And don't forget to ask for their wines at your favorite local retailer. They also ship. Visit them at 12157 State Route 690, just 8 miles outside Athens, Ohio, or on their web at DutchCreekWinery.com, Facebook, or Instagram for more information about their events and current offerings. And now, back to our feature presentation.
I imagine they'll be here any minute, Cora.
I suppose so. I can't imagine how Julius happened to ask me for lunch. He must have dialed the wrong number. Or else they've done something dreadful.
Oh, I hope not. But this morning, a Valentine came for Dagwood, and it was signed Marquita.
Marquita? Why, Blondie, that sounds like...
Yes, it sounds like a brunette. And there was a little note with 4 exclamation marks after it.
Oh, that's bad. 4 exclamation marks could mean anything.
Dagwood said that he thought Mr. Dithers sent the Valentine and wrote the note.
Well, that sounds like Julius. His sense of humor sometimes is about as funny as a temporary filling.
Well, I suppose it's really nothing at all. But you know how men are. They say that if you believe the worst about them, you can't go wrong. But I always give Dagwood the benefit of the doubt.
Now, the way I look at it, where Julius is concerned, there isn't any doubt.
But, Cora, you and Mr. Dithers really get along very well.
Yes, but only because we love each other.
Oh, that certainly helps.
And he's kind of nice. I don't believe I've ever met a sweeter heel.
Oh, well, here they come now.
Well, hello, girls.
Hello, Blondie. Hello, Mrs. Dithers.
Hello, Dagwood. How are you?
Cora, why aren't you wearing that bracelet I gave you? Where is it? At a jeweler's being appraised?
Well, I didn't want to wear it until I was sure they didn't sell the same thing at the dime store.
Now I'm sorry I didn't send you an exploding Valentine.
Hey, take it easy.
My goodness! This is Valentine's Day. You shouldn't argue like this. Why don't you wait until tomorrow?
Sure. We don't argue, do we, honey pie?
Of course not, darling. And certainly not today of all days.
No, of course not.
Not even if you did get a Valentine from some brunette called Marquita.
Now, Blondie, I told you I didn't know who she was, and if you won't take my word for it, well, you'll just have to take my word for it. We won't discuss it anymore.
All right. 4 exclamation marks.
But Blondie...
Never mind, Dagwood. As far as I'm concerned, the subject is closed forever. But I'd like to know what she meant by those 4 exclamation marks, and where did you meet her?
My goodness, this is Valentine's Day. My goodness, you shouldn't quarrel like this. Not today of all days. My goodness.
Ma, we don't argue, do we, honey pot?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dagwood.
Okay, I forgive you.
You forgive me? Now see here, Dagwood Bumstead.
Now, Blondie, I am sure this whole thing is a joke.
If it's a joke, why aren't I laughing? Cora, what would you say to Mr. Dithers if he had gotten a card from this Marquita?
I wouldn't have said anything. I'm a woman of action. Now, Blondie, just relax.
Well, I suppose I'm being a little foolish.
Well, don't be too sure.
Oh, Blondie, look at that stunning girl who just came in.
Where?
Dagwood, she didn't ask you to look.
Whoa! I love my wife, but oh, you kid! Oh,
That'll do, Julius.
I'll say she will.
My, Cora, she is pretty, and she's going to pass right by our table.
Shh, here she comes.
Oh, Dagwood, darling!
Whoa! Who's she talking to?
She's talking to someone called Dagwood. Dagwood?
Oh, no, she's talking to someone called Dagwood Darling, honey.
Did you get the Valentine your little Marquita sent you?
So this is Marquita!
Oh, no!
You didn't, darling? Well, I'll give you one right now, you lovely man.
No! Get away from me! Don't you dare touch me, you gorgeous creature!
Oh, so that's the meaning of the 4 exclamation points!
There, darling. How do you feel now?
Feel like I just stuck my nose in an electric light socket.
I didn't get any Valentine either.
Julius!
Cora, put that fork down.
Well, Dagwood, are you through for a while?
I hope so.
Well, don't you think you should introduce us?
Dagwood, my sweet, who is this other woman?
Other woman? You're the other woman! I'm his wife! At the moment, anyway.
His wife?
Yes, his wife! W-I-F-E, wife!
Oh, Dagwood, my sweet, how could you do this to me? How could you toy with my affections the way you have?
I imagine it was easy.
Now, wait a minute. Blondie, I don't know her at all.
Are you quite sure, Dagwood, my
Sure. Oh, sure, I'm sure. If I did know her, I'd never forget her.
Well, I can believe that. Yeah.
Oh, this is awful.
Oh, you can say that again.
This is the end of our romance. I'll never again let you make mad, wild, impetuous love to me.
Blondie, does that sound like me?
I'm going out of your life forever, and I won't tell you where I'll be, even if my phone number will still be East 2354. Goodbye.
East 2354.
Julius, put that pencil away.
What's the matter, Cora? East 2354.
Blondie, Blondie, don't just look at me like that. Why don't you say something?
Because my mother taught me that it wasn't polite to say the things I'm thinking of right now.
Oh, Go right ahead, Blondie. Cora and I will put our fingers in our ears.
Now stop egging her on. Blondie, I haven't any idea who that girl was.
Oh, come on, Dagwood. It's always best to tell the truth. East 2354. East 2354.
Well, Dagwood, what have you got to say for yourself?
What time is the first train out of here?
So you admit your guilt, do you?
No, but I know when my goose has been fricasseed. No matter what I say, you're not going to believe me, are you?
I should say not. But you might at least wipe her lipstick off your face instead of licking it off.
What flavor is it, Dagwood?
Raspberry.
Very tasty, isn't it?
How do you know, Julius?
That's the flavor of your lipstick. Or is it liverwurst?
I think Mr. Dithers framed me.
I? Cora, you don't think I'd have anything to do with that girl, do you?
Ha! That's the silliest question you've asked me today.
Well, Dagwood, it's Valentine's Day, and I don't want to be silly about this.
Gee, thanks, honey.
Don't you touch me! I'm still mad!
Blondie, you can't act this way. It isn't fair. I'm innocent. I've been framed.
Dagwood, don't shout. Everyone's looking over this way.
Good. I'm innocent, folks. I've been justly accused.
Unjustly, Dagwood.
Unjustly.
Hello, everyone, and you too, Dagwood.
Oh,
Hello, Mr. Niles.
Yes.
How are you? Happy Val.
Well, are you having a happy Valentine's Day?
No comment.
Say, Mr. Dithers, how did your little joke work out?
Never mind. What joke is that?
Don't you remember that girl you hired to come over here and kiss Dagwood?
What was that?
I told you so.
Julius Caesar Dithers.
Yes, dear, sweetheart, honey jam.
Oh, well, did I say something I shouldn't have?
Gee, thanks, Ken. You're a real pal.
Yes, he certainly is.
Oh, do you think I'm a real pal, Mr. Dithers?
Pal. Oh, I thought he said pill, and that you are.
Well, that's my good turn of the day. Goodbye, folks.
Dagwood?
I'm not speaking to you.
Well, Julius?
No, I'm not well, thanks. East 2354.
I have some interesting things to say to you, my only love, but I'm saving them for the privacy of our gymnasium.
Yes, I know. Tomorrow I'll have to get my spine ironed out again.
Dagwood, I'm awfully sorry.
Gee, Blondie, you're always sorry afterward when my reputation is sagging around my ankles like a pair of old socks. I was innocent, and I told you I was innocent, but you wouldn't believe me. A fine way to treat your husband. I'm not going to listen to anything you say. And besides, I'm not speaking to you.
But I couldn't help it, Dagwood.
You think I was an old thing who spent all his time chasing dames, like Mr. Dithers.
Bumstead?
Dagwood, I'd appreciate any additional information you have about Julius.
It'll be a pleasure.
But Dagwood, how would you feel if you saw a strange man come up and kiss me?
I'd be reasonable about it. I wouldn't get excited. I'd be calm and sensible.
A likely story. You've never been sensible yet.
Besides, I'm not talking to you, Blondie. My feelings have been hurt.
Oh, girls, will you excuse us? Dag and I will go out for a moment, and I'll help him primp up his feelings. We'll be right back.
I guess we'd better go back to the table now.
Yes, we've stayed away from them long enough so that Blondie will think your feelings were really hurt.
Besides, I'm getting hungry. Hey, look. Who's that guy talking to Blondie?
Oh, handsome devil, isn't he?
Holy smoke! He's kissing her! I'll tear him apart! I'll take his ears and reverse them!
No, wait a minute. Dagwood, he's leaving the table now. Now, don't forget you told Blondie you'd be reasonable if someone else kissed her.
I will be reasonable. I only want to strangle him.
Dagwood, believe me, that would be wrong. But if you go over and you're calm and reasonable, you'll have her in the palm of your hand. Now, come on, let's go over.
Well, okay, but...
No, just be casual about the whole thing.
Well, I'll try and see what happens.
Oh, Oh, there you are.
Oh, hello, Dagwood.
Hello, Blondie. By the way, dear, who was that who was just sampling your lipstick?
Oh, that. It was really nothing, Dagwood.
Okay, honey. What shall we order for lunch? This looks good. Casserole a la Valentine. I wonder what it is.
It's chipmunk souffle.
Really, Dagwood, the man thought I was somebody else.
I know, Blondie. I believe you. Where's our waiter?
He just walked over and kissed me.
Oh! Did the waiter kiss you too?
No, Dagwood! I mean, that man, he made a mistake.
Blondie didn't know he was going to kiss her, Dagwood.
Of course you didn't.
Dagwood wouldn't think of blaming Blondie, now would you, Dagwood? Would you?
Certainly not.
But Dagwood, please believe me. Oh, it was just a mistake. It was all perfectly innocent.
There, Blondie.
What's the matter now? I'm not suspicious. I'm not mad. What's wrong?
After the way I treated you when that girl came up and kissed you, it isn't fair for you to be so noble and understanding.
The least you could have done was raise a slight squawk about it.
Oh, Dagwood, I wish you wouldn't be so good to me.
Gee, aren't women wonderful?
Yes, I love women. They're so womanly. East 2354.
It makes me feel awful when you're so noble, and I'm not.
Well, Blondie, I'll tell you the truth. I was really mad when I saw him kiss you. I wanted to slug that guy.
You did?
Sure.
Then why didn't you?
He was bigger than me. Now dry your tears, dear, and we'll all have lunch.
All right, Dagwood. That little cry has given me a good appetite.
I'm hungry, too.
Yes, and we'll all forget about Blondie's being kissed.
And I'll forget all about that beautiful... What was that girl's name?
East 2354.
Why, Dagwood Bumstead!
It just slipped out, honey.
Julius Caesar Dithers, you low, miserable wretch!
Car, put that plate down. Look out! I just ducked in time.
Thank you to our outstanding performers, our brilliant production manager, Nick Martin, our sponsor, Dutch Creek Winery, and to you, our audience, for joining us for the second installment of our fourth season, Love is on the Air. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for the next Vintage Radio Hour from Shhh Productions. On Thursday, February 18th, we'll feature Danny Mann, Chris Johnson, Amy Silver-Judd, Scott Clace, Jeff Nelson, Mark Mann, and Mary Trapp Gray in a yarn about the hilarious intrigue arising out of misplaced affections and misunderstood intentions. The second part of our doubleheader will calm things down a bit, as Dave Morgan, Greg Hoffman, Nancy Shelton-Williams, Bill Goldsmith, and Michelle Bailey share the banter and wordplay of a more sophisticated side of courtship. Until then, happy Valentine's Day, and shh.